February 13th, 1748. Evening, calm waters, cloudless sky. Entry by helmsman John Reeves. Sometimes the sea is so silent that you can hear your own blood, like waves that hesitate to strike the hull. Today everything felt wrong. Too bright, too calm. The sea like a mirror. And yet not a mirror, a sign of trouble. So the old sailors said. Captain Reed shines. He married 3 days ago, and damn it, he brought her aboard. Annabelle. I was at the helm when she first stepped onto the deck, a sandal on wood, a blinding flash of sunlight in her hair. She smiled, threw a glance over her shoulder at Simon, and I watched as he held her hand, thinking only one thing. She shouldn't be here, and not with him. We sailed out of Dover at sunset. Lady Lovibond seemed to glide across glass. The crew, dressed up, flags fluttering, laughter, wine. The ship was festive, almost like a wedding, and I had a stone in my stomach. I heard their laughter from the cabin, foolish, honest, in love. Do you know what's the scariest thing about happiness? It makes you invisible. To her, I'm just a shadow at the compass. To him, I'm the one plotting the course. I didn't sleep last night. I lay on the bed, but my body just rested. My mind rolled, like an empty barrel in the hold. I dreamed of the ship diving into the fog, and no one coming out. Only wreckage, and me, on the rocks, with eyes full of salt and guilt. Maybe it's just jealousy, maybe fate. The ship is named after her, and the sea doesn't like it when women are placed above the wind. Today I'm alone at the helm. The captain's gone. He's with her. Below deck. Their door is closed, and only I hear the wheel trembling slightly from the drift. Tonight we'll get closer to the reefs. Dobbin's teeth. I know them. I've been there. I calculated the course myself. By eye, not by the stars. What happens if we just deviate? I'm still thinking of her look, how she laughed, as if the ship were a toy, and the sea, a backdrop. But the sea isn't a toy, it remembers. And if the captain doesn't want to listen to the old rules, let the sea remind him in its own way. February 14th, first half of the night. It's hard to explain how time flows on a ship. You don't feel hours, only pressure, like days and nights are tied in a knot, and you're caught in it. I walked my watch, same routine, course, compass, wind, but every step carried a sound. Not sail, not rope, not gull, her voice. Through the thin wall, she was singing, words blurred into air, vowels and breath. It felt like she wasn't singing to Simon. She was singing to the sea. I stood by their door, just breathing in sandalwood and chamomile, her scent. Then Simon laughed, that kind of laugh. Only with her, light, young, not mine. I walked the upper deck, and it was clear, he's not a captain, he's a boy in uniform, lost in love. And me? 20 years I've sailed the straits. I know when skies lie, I know when land is closer than it looks, and I know this. Women don't belong on ships. I'm not superstitious, I'm a sailor. But she's not just cargo. She's his weakness. The captain writes her poetry instead of giving orders. He doesn't notice the wind shifting, doesn't see we're drifting south. I told him, the course needs checking, the coastal currents changed. He waved me off, didn't even glance at the charts, just smiled. I want to rip that smile off like a flag in the wind. Later I saw them on the bow. He lifted her like a vow, as if he were defying the sea itself. I stood at the helm thinking, if you trust her more than the wind, then let her steer the ship. In my cabin, I pulled out the old paper chart, ran my finger along the cape. Dobbin's Reefs, a graveyard for ships. Reefs sharp as guillotines. The current drags you toward them. 1 degree, and you're no longer in the channel, you're in their jaws. I stood at the helm and considered, if I veer now, no one will know. The captain won't come out. The crew's drunk. The wind is right. The fog thickens. I glanced at the compass, and gently touched the wheel. One shift, just one, and the sea would choose what comes next. While they laughed below, I chose the course, not for them, not for me, but for the sea, which doesn't forgive women aboard. February 14th. Deep night. The sea is as black as ink. At sea, night is not just the absence of light. It's when even thoughts sound duller, like the skull has become the hold, empty and ringing. I stayed on watch, voluntarily. No one objected. It's a holiday. Let the lovers rest. But I'm the helmsman. I lead. I looked at the course again. A slight deviation. Just 2 degrees further south. It's nothing. To everyone, it's nothing. But for me, it's enough. Dobbin's reefs are closer now. I know it by the taste of salt, by the ship's tilt, by the behavior of the seagulls. Yes, the seagulls. Their cry is no longer friendly. It's like the death rattle. I'm holding the wheel. My palm is wet. Not from rain. I'm like a tree that decided to become an axe. Someone approached from behind. Helmsman? All's fine. Course is under control. I nodded. He didn't know that I was holding this course, against all of them. In the cabin, they're still playing, laughing. I hear Simon reading her something. Loving, foolish, real. He's placed her above the sea, above the crew, even above the ship itself. And I'm the one who stayed outside the door. The one who shifted the line on the map. The one who understood, if I'm not the captain, then I'm fate. Night. Now I'm alone. They're all asleep. The sea is quiet, like a conspiracy. The fog has thickened. The lantern light is already gone from my outstretched hand. The compass trembles slightly. The needle leads. Not me. It. Everything is falling into place. I stand at the helm, thinking, what will happen if it all sinks? Who will remember? Legends aren't written about those who obeyed. Legends are told about those who sent the ship to the bottom. I know I'll see her look. When it all begins, she'll come up. She'll see the reefs, the waves, the panic, and maybe, only then, will she look at me. Ahead, the shadow, the reef, just a few 100 yards left. I hear the doors slamming below. The captain's awake. He runs up to the deck. He shouts, "John, what have you done?" I look at him, and calmly, as if simply passing the shift. I've returned us to the sea. The crash against the rocks, the ship breaking, screams, a woman's voice, panic. It's over. February 14th, past midnight. The sea as black as a dead man's pupil. The strike was like the wrath of God. First, one short, then a second, like thunder rolling inside the chest. The ship jolted, like it tried to hold on, and then it broke. Through the fog, I saw Simon's face. He ran barefoot onto the deck, his shirt wet, his hair tangled, his eyes full not of fear, but confusion. He screamed, "What have you done?" And I stood at the helm, silently, because everything had already been done. They ran, tried. The crew threw themselves toward the lifeboats, but one capsized. The second, torn away by the wave. I saw one of the sailors jump into the darkness. His scream faded, like a burned-out candle. Annabelle appeared in the doorway. She was clinging to the railing, her face covered in blood. Simon was pulling her by the hand, and suddenly, she saw me. For the first time, truly, her eyes in horror. Not from the catastrophe, from me. She screamed, "He did it! He!" Simon rushed at me, struck me. Again, I didn't resist, because inside me it was already empty, as if the reef had pierced not just the ship, but me too. The deck cracked under my feet. The mast fell. I collapsed. Above me, the sky, like soot. To the right, the reefs, like a giant's bones. And Simon's voice, trembling, "You killed her. You killed us all." I wanted to answer. Say no. Say it wasn't like that. But it was too late. Annabelle slipped from the railing. I saw how the wave took her into the darkness, silent, like a thought you'll never speak. Just a few seconds left. The ship was breaking beneath me. Lady Lovibond. Beautiful, proud, broken. I closed my eyes, and for the first time that night, I felt the sun trying to break through the fog, but it wouldn't let it. Date unknown. Entry, without time, without signature. Sometimes at night I still feel the wheel under my palm, rough, weathered, like an old man's skin, wood under my fingers, the creak of the hull, the course, by memory. I'm back at the helm, only no crew, no wind, no Simon, no her, just me, and the sea, nothing more. They say that every year, on St. Valentine's Day, lights appear near Goodwin Sands, lanterns above the water, as if someone is still searching for the shore. The locals don't come close. They believe it's cursed, and I believe it's fair. Everything I did wasn't out of malice, not out of rage, but out of loneliness. A feeling that ate me from the inside when I saw her hand in his, and I realized I'm already no one to her. They say 18 people died that night. Among the names, Captain Reed, his wife, the bosun, 2 young sailors, and the helmsman, without a name, because I don't want it to remain. My name is the reef. My name is the course mistake. My name is fate. If you ever find yourself on a shore where the gravel rustles like footsteps and the lanterns sway by themselves, listen. Perhaps you'll hear a voice, faint, but restrained. It will say, "The course is correct. The wind is fair. Ahead, Lady Lovibond."